Hello again, traders. Right, I've just got back in. I've rushed back in actually to get from a lovely walk in the sunshine to get back for 2 o'clock just to see what the 2 o'clock charts look like. Not really bothered about taking a trade, just as Friday was a phenomenal day trading these H4 charts, or this H4 dashboard should I say. Monday morning was as well, so I can't get over how important these appear to be and how they are transforming the way I view charts. So as you can see, we've got 4 minutes to go before this H4 bar closes, and it occurred to me while I was wandering around in the sunshine that we could use this in two ways. We can reverse engineer it, so we can learn about the candlesticks. This is for real novice traders, to be honest with you. We can learn. You might look at this and think, oh my god, that looks a complete and utter mess. I don't know how to understand any of that. But we can reverse engineer it. So, for example, these smaller candles here and here and here, as you can see, have all reversed to the downside. And we talked about those on the charts, and they were perfect 3CR reversals. Trend reversals, trend line reversals, I talk about that all the time. Dragon reversals, everything is the same thing, to be honest with you. So it doesn't matter whether you use Bollinger Bands, Ichimoku Cloud I was talking about on Twitter this morning. I've used that in the past. All of these will be valid reversals to the downside. And look what we've got here on ETH USD. So I'm going to show you what I mean now. And what else did I see that looked interesting when I open this chart? Oh, New Zealand dollar, US dollar with a wick fill, but unfortunately it has tested the low there. If that low hadn't been tested, I'd say that was a really good possibility for a potential short, but it's not so clear. I haven't really studied anything else on here at the moment because I was really intrigued by this. So let's have a look at ETH. Not something I trade during the week, I've mentioned that before, but as you can see now, we're setting up on this 15-minute chart for a potential reversal to the downside. Now if you look on the left, as I always say to you about educating yourself, look to the left to see which ones work the best, and we can see the best looking example would be something that closed above the 89 EMA, came back and tested it, and then potentially went on up. Now something else that occurred to me while I was walking around is that these methods are as old as the hills. This is the Sonic R Dragon that if you go onto Forex Factory you will see. I think it dates back to about 2006, somewhere around there. So what's that? It's 15 years now. Sonic DJ, fantastic trader. I think he trades massive accounts now, other people's money. But the theory is still there. Now we've marched on miles from that. So whilst it's worthwhile having a look, it's not really worthwhile spending too much time on. You just don't need to. You know, we've got all the other stuff: the 3 candle reversals, the line chart reversals, the multi-time frame stuff, trend line reversals, and so on. So to get to the point here, what we need to see here is a break below the first line of old buyers. They created a higher high. We need these buyers to be overwhelmed by the sellers, which would then take us to this point here, something like this, below the 89 EMA. We would have 3 CRs on the higher time frames, potential pullback, and then potential test of the Asian range low there, a possible bounce because it's not been tested before. It may well go back up, or it may well, providing all this agrees as well, it may well just then continue, possibly test the pivot, possibly come all the way down here. But you know, don't worry about the sort of technicalities of all this stuff. You're just concentrating on the fact that buyers have been overwhelmed by sellers potentially. The H4 agrees with us, as I said before. Go back and look at that on the video, you know, on this video, and then just trade accordingly. You can see you've got clear support or supply demand there. that would agree with these levels. So, they're all self-fulfilling prophecies, and this what another thing that occurred to me as I'm wandering around, and it has occurred to me before, of course, but I forget more than I remember these days. But is that you don't have to have all your round numbers and all your bits and pieces on your charts, because naturally the price will accumulate around those areas. This is the daily open here. That will always affect price, and always have affected price, created a problem where it actually started at the daily open. So all these things agree. If you had the Ichimoku on there, if you had the Bollinger Bands on there, if you had VWAP and all these other sort of things, they will all agree with what you've got. So you don't have to have all of them, just choose the one that you like most. So that's it, guys. We can use this, and we could go through a ton of these charts and then go back and look at the H4s and see how that corresponded with the H4 dashboard. And that is the way to teach yourself reverse engineered. Use the dragon to teach yourself the H4s, and use the H4s to teach yourself the dragon. So it's a win-win. And then we get all these additional methods now. So far with the H4s, we've got wick fills with the trend. Let's have a look at the H4. Sorry I'm rushing through this, but I do want to see what does happen on the H4s, so in my own time. So where are we now? Here, H4. We've got wick fills to the downside. I talked about that before on we can't see them now. I can't even remember what I took, but I think it was EA. There was a ton of wicks over here, and if you can't go long, you go short. This is a complete mess, as you can see, but there was still some massive moves. This is interesting, actually. We have wick fills to the long side. The other thing I was talking about on Twitter is when you've got two rising green candles, that actually means you have an uptrend. Low, high, high, low, high, high. Talked about this before. So this is the third leg of the uptrend. Swing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the fifth swing, which we call our impulse swing. Swing 1 is the up, swing 2, swing 3, swing 4 is the pullback, swing 5 is the continuation. So it all fits in, it fits in with Elliott Wave, it fits in with all the other trading methods that we have. So there, as you can see, is that ETH potential to reverse. You can see it's running out of power to the long side, but having said that, this is a massive uptrend. This could easily just be a tiny little pullback here, and it could continue. So we have to use the lower time frames to time our entries. The other entry we have on these, here we go, we're into the new 4 hour now. We've got a massive H4 down, Euro Pound, and that is the other style of entry we have. So we've got the big candle we've always talked about. If it's at supply and demand, then it's highly likely we will get a bounce. Likewise with dollar index, huge great big candle. If this is at supply, then it's highly likely they will have a little rest, a bit of profit taking, and pull back as well. So numerous. I think we've got 4 different, I won't go into all the different ones because that'll make the video too long, but up to now we've got about 4. We could use inside bar trading, so that's a 5th opportunity here. So you can apply everything you've got. Also all the different strat combinations of candles, you could clearly see them on here. Hopefully we might get someone that can create a indicator. As it is, it's very easy to mark these out. If we could actually fit them onto this indicator, which would be I've got an inside bar, outside bar indicator, so everything else, an outside bar is a 3, an inside bar is a 1, and everything else is a 2. So simple as that, really, when you look at the strat. So there you go, guys. Multiple ways of finding trades, and also multiple, this is slightly dropping down now. Notice the times for the 4 hour bars are different on the 2 cryptos I've got on here, and that also goes for the gold as well. Gold is generally an hour out. I think it's across most brokers, but saying that, you will still get a strong move on gold because it's dollar related. So if you've got a dollar falling off here, then it's highly likely gold will push on up there, and vice versa. You've got the pound. It looks like this might drop, and then you've got the pound strengthening. So that's how you read these things, guys. It isn't hard, it isn't rocket science, and the clarity you get from these H4 dashboards, or all the dashboards, daily, weekly, whatever, is frightening when you compare it to well, I say frightening, it's frighteningly good when you compare it to what you can see. You know, that is not clear, that is clear in my head. Compare it with what you see on the charts, and it ain't so clear at all. Even when you go to the H4 on the chart, that doesn't look anywhere near as interesting as the dashboard, in my head anyway. So thanks for watching, have a great day. And as you can see, that's pushing on down now. Scalper's paradise, or scalper heaven should I say.